Many people ask me, what does doing the work mean? What exactly does that mean? Where do I start? How do I do the work? So, doing the work is healing. Healing is doing the work. Healing, loving yourself, raising your vibration, all of those things are a part of doing the work. And we're going to talk about that in this video. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. I am Nicole and this is the Divine Healing with Love channel. Thank you so much. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you all so much for subscribing to the channel. Welcome back to my capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. So I get asked this by clients and other people ask me, like, what does doing the work mean? What does it mean to do the work? And doing the work, a big part of it is intentional healing. Intentional healing is a big part of doing the work because intentional healing means you are healing intentionally with intention to be better, to do better, to become a better person. That is your overall intention. You want to become your best version. Become the version that you are proud of. Not to say you're not proud of the version you are now. I'm not saying that. But you're doing the work to become better. We always want to become better. We always want to improve. You're really about self-improvement and loving yourself and caring for yourself and watering your own garden and having an overflow of love. Again, all the love for yourself and then the overflow for everyone else. So if you just envision a cup, you have a cup and the cup is filled up to the top. That is the love that you have for yourself. So the love that spills over, a cup that's overflowing, water, love, that's where everyone else drinks from. Your overflow of love because you have filled up your cup of love for yourself. So intentional healing starts with, a lot of it again is awareness. I mean, like I said before, awareness is a huge part of it. And when you become aware of the parts of yourself that needs healing, a lot of times it's looking at yourself from a lens of how can I take accountability for what happened in certain situations? How can I improve? Self-reflection is a huge part of this as well because self-reflection, honest self-reflection, taking the time to look at yourself and look at your practices and see how you can improve moving forward. So again, I'm giving an example for myself. When I was a teacher, when I was in the classroom, we would, you have lessons and you have what you call an observation. And this is when your superior, your principal, assistant principal, coach, whatever, would come in and look at you and observe you and give you feedback for your teaching practices, your instructional practices. So during those times, after we were observed, we always had to fill out a reflection sheet. And the reflection sheet would essentially be a sheet where we had to answer questions and reflect on our practices and how we can improve. So I started using that method for looking at myself after situations in my own personal life. Asking myself those questions like, how can I do better? How can I improve? What could I have done differently if I felt like I need to do anything differently? Looking at this from a lens of just me. I'm not looking at this other person yet. I'm not looking at anything the other person did or didn't do. I'm looking at only me, okay? Because I think most of the time when we have these situations, when it's time to self-reflect that there's an issue or conflict or a situation with another person, we're always so quick to say what this other person did. oh, this other person did this and this other person did that. And it's like, no, stop. Before you look at another person, you have to look at yourself. What did you do? What were the implications you made? How can you improve from this situation? What did you say? And being honest with yourself. Now, this is not to say that the other person didn't do anything either. We're not, saying that that other person shouldn't take any ownership in the situation. Not at all. But what I'm saying is this, looking at yourself first and drilling down everything that you did before you look at the other person and whatever happened, whatever their actions were or lack thereof, before you look at that. So when you start to do things like that, get in a process of that, breaking that down, being reflective of yourself, then you can start to do the work. Doing the work looks different for everyone. A lot of times for me, doing the work means self-reflection, sometimes having a conversation with another person that I trust to give me, and when I say trust, that means I trust their opinion and I trust that they will not be biased and they will be open and honest with me about my behavior and another person's behavior. So I encourage you to do that as well if you feel like you have someone that you trust. And then having an open conversation with myself. As I've stated in other videos, I have open conversations with myself all the time because part of the journey is being open and vulnerable with yourself. As I always say, if you want these things from another person, you have to be able to do it with yourself first. If you want someone to be vulnerable with you, you have to do it with yourself first. You have to be able to be vulnerable with yourself first. If you want someone to be able to cry with you, you have to be able to cry by yourself and be okay with it and let it out and let it flow. And don't feel ashamed about it. Don't feel guilty or don't feel like, oh, here I go crying. Like, why are you crying? Like, no. Taking that negative outlook or negative perspective out. You have to be able to do that. I'm going to be honest with you. When I feel like I need that good cry, I give it to myself. I do it. And a lot of times for me, I love to have that. I'll have a good cry anywhere. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. I cry quite often. Sometimes I cry every day. I don't hold these emotions in anymore. If I feel the need to cry, I just let it out. Because for years, I would hold these emotions in and I wouldn't cry. And I repressed a lot of that emotion. And repressed emotion can manifest into so many different ways. It can manifest into physical illness within the body. So now, if I need to cry, I feel these emotions and I let it out. So when I like to cry, I'll go in my bed, put the covers over my head, and I'll give myself a hug and I cry. And I just let it out and I let it flow. That's some of my, I really love getting in my bed and crying because I feel just so safe and secure. Because when we're vulnerable, we want to feel safe and secure. That's really what it is. But back to doing the work. You want to, and that's part of doing the work too, being vulnerable with yourself. That is part of it. I'm not getting too far off track here. I try to bring it back because I know I can get off track. But that's part of doing the work as well, being vulnerable with yourself. But again, self-reflection, that's the biggest part. Talking about it with other people, a person. I recommend one or two people. Sometimes bringing too many people into the situation can be too much, and you don't need that. You only need about one or two people that you really trust. That's it. 3 at the most. Stop it there, because you don't need to just keep telling the whole thing over and over and over again, getting all these different opinions. Just stop it at 3, I recommend. And then be vulnerable with yourself, and then find your way to heal it from the root. For me, a lot of healing is done through meditation. Again, this looks different for everyone. Not everyone likes to meditate or do traditional meditation. Their meditation could be through yoga. Their meditation could be just sitting in a quiet place in nature. It looks different for everyone. But just whatever you need to do to heal it. It may just be talking about it out loud and releasing it and say you release it. That could be it. I don't know. You have to figure out your own process. Everyone is different. Everyone has a different process. Like I said, I know some people, after they talk about it, after they have that awareness and they realize that this is the issue, they'll just verbally say, I'm releasing it. And, they may apologize to that person or write a letter, whatever their process is, and they release it and it's done. They don't go into a meditation. That doesn't work for them. So it's about using the different healing methods to find your groove and find your own process for releasing and healing, because that's what it's all about. There's no one way that works. There's no one size fits all. Meditation works for many people, but some people don't like it, and it's okay. Just know that that's okay. And it may be something that you need time to warm up to. I want you to know that there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong fix to any of this. This is your journey, your process. You figure out what works for you. I'm not the type of person that's going to get on here and tell you exactly what to do. I like to give my own experiences and give you that wisdom, and you move on from there. But it's your journey, your process. You figure out what works for you and you find your own groove, because it's your journey. So if no one told you that they love you today, I love you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm sending you so much love, light, peace, and blessings. Like this video, comment below. Let me know what's going on. Do you have a process for doing the work? What does that look like for you? If you liked any of these techniques, let me know. Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.